What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol NVAX for Novavax Inc. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. Starting off, it wouldn't make sense if I did not mention the fact that earnings are after the bell on today's session or pre-market of tomorrow's session. So let's go ahead and flip on our extended hour session just to see what's kind of going on in anticipation of the numbers. So numbers not officially released yet, as at least in terms of Thinkorswim interpreting the data here, but let's assume that we're opening on a gap down simply because of this large red candle to the downside. Certainly recovering, and a lot can happen between now and the bell at 9:30, but for conservative numbers' sake, let's say we're opening somewhere around this mark where we're trading right now, about $220. Let's zoom in on the daily now and just talk about obvious levels of support and resistance. I'd certainly make the claim that there's an area of resistance, now that we're below it here at this 330-ish, 227.82 mark. You can see it was pretty much the low of the day today, and if we're opening up below that, any sort of moves to go back into it would strike me as a potential place for a fade, right? And by fade, I mean go short, simply because we would have a gap fill area and a strong area of daily resistance where you can see price has been knocked down many times before. So certainly keep that on your radar. The next area of resistance is obviously coming from this 30-minute chart and or the high of today, essentially up around 250, a nice psychological number. So let's go ahead and map that out. It's not really coinciding with anything to the left. Maybe if you want to stretch it way back here, you can see a couple of upper wicks in this area of the chart. But again, that's kind of stretching it there, but certainly resistant based on today's high of day. Now, focusing in on the 30-minute time frame, just to sort of discuss potential trade ideas based on the fact that we are seeing a gap down. Obviously, as we discuss on the channel, there are a number of setups that we can use. So any sort of failure to take out the overnight low here early on in the morning. So again, assuming that we open somewhere around 220, any failure to take out the overnight low, and again, this could change by the time the bell comes around, but let's call it 202 for now. Any failure to get here or take it out and then cross back above through the open, that's a long trade to start to target the gap fill area, which we discussed is at 227.82. Now, the flip side of that coin is if we do get there and we consolidate just above it, there we go, that's the word we're looking for, and then break it, we are looking for more downside to develop simply because that's a gap and go, right? So in that scenario, what would our target be? Well, certainly the overnight low is going to act as the target from the daily. You can see it's aligning with this area here. 202.07 is this low from on Wednesday's session, and underneath that we have yet again another gap in play. So that being said, the obvious target would be down below at 188.69. The 50 SMA is slowly creeping higher. Let's actually zoom in on that a little bit here so you can see. So it's slowly creeping higher. Look for maybe an intraday bounce off of it, but ultimately the gap to fill underneath around 188, let's call it 70 for a nice round number's sake. So hopefully that gave you a bit of a framework to work within. Again, some things can change based on between now and 9:30, the opening bell here, but that's generally how you treat a gap down or a gap up. We've discussed that in Plug, for example. They also reported earnings in the post-market today, so go check that video out if you have not already. If you found any sort of value in today's video, let me know down below in the comments section or by simply giving a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked down below in the description, and all of that being said, we wish you a green trading week.